Bam! Welcome to the show tonight, everybody. Going live, Pro Se Legal School. Oh, that's a little loud. Let's turn that down just a little bit. Okay, that's probably better. If I didn't wake up your sleeping neighbors or something, yeah, when it comes on, it automatically goes all the way up. I didn't know if the mic's already plugged in, so I don't know why it does that, but Heather, Chloe, welcome to the show, and we're going to well, go through the preliminary stuff, get everything lined up. Pro Se Legal School. We provide tools you need to shut down the court process. That's what we do. We okay. So a little bit of backstory about how we got to where I learned how to say what we do is that one of my business partners, her name is Humera. She's in. Well, I have a couple, 3. Okay, but the other 2 are unnamed and they're all undisclosed locations. Okay, but the one that I can discuss is Humera, and she's in Pakistan. And she's the young lady that set up my website and made everything the way it is so that our stuff rolls smooth. And she's the one that handles if you have really I'm just going to just be myself here, okay? So if y'all got kids, y'all need to send their ass to bed, okay? If you got really shitty internet and your document that you invest in for $99, that's generally a $500 document or something similar to that effect, don't download. She's the one that sends you that triggers the other document to be sent from the website. But she's in Pakistan. So in Pakistan, it's like, I think another day or the next day, like it's 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So it's probably about maybe 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock there in the morning. So we don't get to stuff like in, Okay, so I had a guy invest in the $99 package that was way more than that. I just put on sell to piss off the attorneys. And for some reason he didn't get it. I have fiber. Okay, so anyway. So he started harassing me and being mean, like, I've given you plenty of time. I'm like, dude, okay, wait, and we talked we communicated for a minute on the thing. And he said, when I bought the lawsuit package, you sent it to me immediately. I'm like, dude, okay, look, man. The website is set up by Humera to send that stuff out to you when, if it don't get sent to you, you call and let me know. But I'm not going to pull over on the side of the road and whip out my cell phone. That I'm 66. Okay, I can barely use the cell phone anyway because my fingers are way too big. Okay, I'm not going to do that for your $99. Okay, so if you buy something on sale, you're probably going to have to wait a couple of days if you have a shitty internet and it don't download at the time that that email and everything downloads to you, because my website shows all that stuff and I have fiber. So, but I'm not trying to go to that. What I'm saying is that people need to be patient and understand that, okay, that I appear to be a one-man show, so to speak, but I got 2 family members. Yeah. A couple of family members back me up, and this young lady in Pakistan. making sure that everything go well, and then I have a whole bunch of other people that have provided the real time feedback that we use to crush these people and punch them in the face. And the real time feedback is, well, okay. We'll get to all of that. Right now, I want to talk about a couple of things before we even get to what we're supposed to be talking about. Okay? I might be a little grumpy, okay? And if you fit in this situation, don't take it personal. Oh, by the way, this is one of my most favorite ties that I picked out when I was shopping with one of my best friends. I have a lot of best friends. Oh, this is one of my favorite ties. So anyway, okay, I'm done with the nice shit. Okay, I'm a little grumpy. When you get in my program, okay, when you get in my program, oh wait a minute. Shattered by Corruption, my girlfriend's publication that she put out. It's on Facebook. It's the number one seller. It doesn't. This stuff is in green. That says her name, Carrie Neighbors. But it doesn't. It's the best seller on Amazon. It has just a little tad bit about, well, like that much, maybe that much about what she went through. Okay, because when you think of it in my head, to compass all that we went through, it would have to start out before, and then after she got out of prison. I don't know. I think she said it was 97 months. Okay, okay, and then no, you can't end it there because you carry and you lose everything. And then you get pissed off. That's what we do here. They pissed off the wrong black man. Oh. Yeah, I've been told that once. But anyway, a couple of times. Well, maybe several times. But that's the motivation. So the way I roll is you need to be willing to do whatever it takes. If you're not willing to do whatever it takes, then it's not going to work out for you in my program, okay? Because I refuse to be a hater. Welcome to the show, Heather. And I just go by, sometimes I just call you H. Welcome to the show tonight. And I know you've been here before. This is not your first show. This is not your first time in here. But welcome back, and we appreciate having you. And just going to go ahead and say hi to everybody. Heather. Shattered by Corruption. Yeah, my girlfriend. So, we went through all this, and then we got divorced, but we're still best friends, and she's still my girlfriend because I haven't found another one. So, and she ain't found somebody else yet. So that's where we are. When she finds somebody else, then we'll figure it out. But right now, she's still my girlfriend. 43 years being married, and I know 50. Well, we died in high school. Oh my God, I'm so old. I mean, she. Okay, sorry. She's actually younger than me by a few years. I'll have to message her and see, what kind of concessions I can get if I. Okay, never mind. I'm glad you can make it tonight, girlfriend. Let's just go down the list. I think we forgot Levant. Okay, well, I got to sneeze. Okay, maybe I should have turned that off. Okay, I'm in a dusty ass place, and I have to, I have to get up and make my bed and go do shit. I can't just lay around all day, and they got planes taking off. Y'all know I'm at an undisclosed location, and there's actually only, well. There's probably two people here who, well, one for sure, well, maybe two for sure, who know where the undisclosed location is. But let's just keep it that way, because sometimes they trust me to take care of these tiny people, and I have haters. And so that's why I'm at that undisclosed location. Thanks for showing up tonight, girlfriend. I know you got a busy schedule. Oh. Thank you, Heather. I bought this one day when I was shopping. Well, I have several best friends. I have like the best friend that I known, when I was in high school, and then I have a couple like other best friends that I watched be born. And then, okay, this is going to get complicated. Y'all need to get a pen and some paper so y'all can keep up. And then I have like a bunch of best friends that, well, we did foster care for, when I say we, I'm saying my whole family, including my first best friend and my two that I watched, for like 17 years. So I have a few other best friends. So instead of having to do the check down all the time, because those ones at the, okay, never mind. Sorry. Thank you, Heather. I really like this tie too. But most people, I don't think I look tough enough for a pink tie. I think I do. Oh, thank you. Oh, I got this. Y'all sucking. I love it. Damn, we're in. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I did give them people a really hard time, and we actually we both paid. We both paid. But you know what? Most of the people that go through what we've been through, okay, are living with family and are working at Walmart. I mean, no offense to anybody, okay, but when you get done going through what these, okay, Let me drink my tea. My grandkids. Okay, I've been doing yoga. Okay, my oldest grandkid here, and I have one that's like 17, going to be 18 in another state. But the one that's where I'm close to now is, I don't remember how old she is. She's close to 14, 13, 14, 15, something around there. Okay, and we've been doing yoga for a long time, managing. Well, we're supposed to be like learn how to manage our stress and shit stuff. And she told me that that I should make a reference to nicer things when I'm talking. Okay, so I'm going to try and do that. Yeah, but when you're learning how when you learn new things and how to do things different, and everything that you learned before now was total bullshit stuff, crap. Okay, sorry, Jay. It was total crap. Okay, then sometimes it gets hard to shift over to the other side, and so I've been making this personal because my best friend is here, who is also my girlfriend or whatever, and I like her book to show on my shorts when I post them. So, and she gets old the highway. Okay, but right now I'm just taking. The problem here is if you're not willing to do whatever it takes, then we're gonna have a problem. I'm a coach, and if I offend you, I will apologize or whatever. You're paying me to coach. Sometimes people have different ideas about what the coaching is. Now, I don't tell you what to do because I've been doing this for a minute, and I already figured out that if I ran a business before I did this. I worked for another company for 17 years. I ran a delivery and moving service business, and I hired 4 employees. I had 3 delivery trucks and moving trucks. What I learned way before that from sports is that as a coach, if you don't teach people how to do this shit themselves, okay, I got people following me on TikTok. I think that was my granddad. Okay, I'm trying to stay focused. If you don't teach people how to do this shit themselves, then no one's gained anything. Okay, because the way the system is set up, they're sucking everybody's money right out of their freaking bank account or whatever. Okay, but here's the thing. When you come here to learn how to do this yourself, you should spend more time listening and less time talking, number one. And number two, I have like 9 people, and I'm just going to throw the number out there, okay, in case you're one of those people and you're here. I had 9 people in the last few days. I don't want to say how many because that. I'm just trying to make a point. I had 9 people in the last few days. It's great because I got more people coming in, whatever. Okay, tell me. I don't think I can do that because the judge said that this or that, and I have bankruptcy and I have all this stuff. Okay, if you done things and I don't want to say that anybody did anything wrong. Okay, because our program changes all the time from the real-time feedback coming in from the people that are kicking ass, and from my girlfriend over here who went through more of the shit than what I went through. So when we're bouncing stuff off each other's head or whatever, she's like, wait, oh. And we get to that tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about that on the appeal process and those things. Okay, but if you're not willing to do whatever it takes, I have people that contact me that want me to help them do what they think is the most important that should be done. Or I have some people that say, well, judge said that I'm blocked. I've been blocked and I can't, or that, I don't want to hear none of that. Okay, because in this program, we don't have limitations we don't have limitations on ourselves. You can't be in my ring with limitations, because if you are, it's going to cause a communication problem. And I'm going to be telling you, no, you did this wrong, and you're going to be saying, no, I didn't do nothing wrong. How do you know? You don't know. Maybe the program changed a half an hour ago based off of the real-time feedback from people, and my best friend, she communicates with a lot of people from the prison system. So that's how we have an idea all right. So maybe you missed up, maybe you didn't watch the update. Maybe, no offense to anybody, but some people get in the program and they think that they can use the program like it's a conventional program and figure out from the name of the documents what they think they should file. And or whatever. And that never worked. That doesn't work out very well. And so I'm gonna get off my box, because this is really I'm a coach. I don't say everything the right way. I don't worry about if I'm going to hurt your feelings or make you scared of me or any of that. I don't, when you're a coach, you don't think about those things. Now, if I choke you, okay, sorry. So that's, and I don't want people to take this personally, because there's been a couple of times when I had to apologize, because I was being too coachy and I didn't hear what the customer said. And at the end of the day, it's not my job to make the call on that. My job is to do the best I can to help to make sure that I'm backing up what I said I was going to do before you invested in my program. Now, does that have a limit or whatever? I don't think so. So if I offend you or make you scared of me or any of that because of how I am, number one, please understand that, that wasn't my goal. Number two, you need to understand that I know what you need to learn and where you need to be to make this work out. And if you call me and we're talking on the phone, and I'm just going to throw this out here because it's easy for people to see these little things in what I'm talking about, but they haven't spent a week and a half or 2 weeks listening to these people talking. So you're taking it personal. Okay, but if you call me on the phone and you start talking to me about their process and found an answer to their stuff and all of that. No offense to anybody, okay? I'm thinking in my head, we're too far apart. Okay, in order to fit in this program, you have to get your ass to the gate. And you get to the gate by watching updated instructional videos in the instructional video playlist and coming to our live streams and making sure you're in the coaching group at neighbors_coach. That's where the coaching takes place. If you invest in the premium package, then we have a protocol for communication through text. Okay, but if you don't do that, number one, you're not going to be able to take advantage of the real-time feedback, the corrections that we've made to the real-time feedback if you can't afford the premium package. Now, if you can afford the premium packages, then you need to use the videos in the premium packages, and that's it. You can't use those other videos or you're dumbing your shit down and you're crushing what you invest in. Okay, so I'm a little wound up tonight. I have a lot, and this is good because my ads are driving people to somewhere or something, okay? But I don't have time to get your ass to the gate. Now, I had a conversation with a young man earlier today, and we were, they were saying, what we do here is we teach people how to stop the court process. Oh, but my case was this or whatever. Okay, that's way down there. Okay, we're over here at the gate. Oh, what the hell? Okay, we're at the gate. If you jam their ass up at the gate, you don't have to worry about getting you don't have to worry about getting your shoes. I was going to say shoes, poopy smell. Okay. But you can't get yourself to the gate if you don't do your homework. And that means going to winningcourtnow.com, checking out the package that you have to choose from. Now I get a couple of calls from people that want to talk to me before they invested. And I'm fine with that. I put my number in the premium package, but this person didn't buy. Okay, maybe he. I'm fine with that. Okay, but you need to understand, okay, that I'm not going to convince you to do shit. I mean, anything. I'm not going to convince you to buy it. I'm going to tell you to go read the instruction, to go read the description and go watch the instruction video. That's what I'm going to tell you. And I understand, and I learned this from doing foster care for 17 years. You can't help everybody. You need to be able to figure out the people that you, and put them on a higher priority. Those are the people that are willing to do whatever it takes. And that's how I run this program. So, and that's how the program is going to be run. Thank you, John, and welcome to the stream tonight. And thank you, girlfriend, for being here. Okay, yeah. Maybe I have pink socks. Y'all thought I was going to say underwear. Okay, sorry. Let's move on. And this is why the show's going on tonight. People trying to get out of prison. They fail. You know, they're conventional instead of thinking outside the box. And I'm going to say we, and when I say we, I'm including her and I. We both did the same thing. We actually had people helping us out. Okay, let's back up just a second. In the beginning, we had people that didn't know as much as we knew, just getting into this in 2005. Okay, but we started learning, and then after we went through what we went through, we're able to create the program that we have now. And so, I agreed that I was going to help Anthony get out of jail, and this program is kind of about that. But there's a couple other things we want to talk about along the way. And I also want to show everybody how get my camera set in the right place so when it moves when I breathe. When I get emotional, I had an opportunity. Anthony's family, Amanda, and the rest of his mom, basically the two main people. No offense to anybody, I just like to keep it real. Okay, were the ones that that created the opportunity for this to happen, and it gave me opportunity to showcase my skills because I don't want to say how many because without the people leaving me a review, I can't really back it up. So but I'll tell you, there ain't nobody complaining about the prosecutor eliminated packets, and it's been around for a while. And the reason why is because they're forced to sign a non-disclosure statement. They're forced to sign a non-disclosure statement when they, I'm fine with that. I mean, that's the way it goes in the foreclosure shit and all of the stuff. When you crush, oh, my granddaughter teaching me how to be nice. Okay, when you crush the attorney's asses, okay, they're going to want you to file that. And I'm fine with that. Because at the end of the day, if people don't see the value in my program because they don't have enough reviews or see somebody reviews or whatever. Like I said, I don't tell people what to do. And they don't belong here. The people that belong here are the people that are willing to do their homework to get their asses up to the gate. So when we communicate, they know that we're communicating from where we are in this program going down the kicking their ass part as opposed to answering to the stuff or worrying about what the judge said. We don't have to worry about none of that if you're doing everything right. So we're gonna go ahead and listen and see what everybody has to say before we get into. I'm a little emotional on this because this is like the beginning of people understanding the difference between the two programs. The conventional program was structured by those assholes over there that are screwing you over. And they change and do whatever they want anytime. The non-conventional program, okay, the difference is that we're not worried about what they did. We're going after them for why they were able to do that. Why they're able to do that. Now, if you look at the stuff, from that perspective, okay, everybody's case is the same. They either registered your deed and then once your deed was registered, then they reclassified your property as one of their residential, I call it whatever, for the sole purpose of taxation. Okay, but let's just stick with the gate. At the gate, they registered your deed. And the law for property transfers in every state, I haven't checked every one, but all of the ones that I checked, mandate that your deed is supposed to be delivered to you after all that stuff. Okay, but my research says that I'm not going to say the attorneys, that they do, because that's what they said when I think back in my head, I got like a weird shit going on in my head. They do what they call their constructive delivery, and they register your deed in their office. Okay, so here's the thing. The registration of your deed allowed the first illegal lien to be put on your property. You know, I played football in college. I boxed. It's taken me a while. You know, I'm really slow, so I had to get this stuff figured out. They registered your deed in their office illegally, and then after it was registered, they put the first illegal lien. They put the first illegal lien on your property. Now, I know we'll get to this other stuff, maybe. The first illegal lien was the mortgage lien. I know, Coach. What the hell? I'm going to take a sip of my tea and let y'all think about that shit. Think about it this way. If there were several people who own property, all of the owners would have to be present to sign that lien. So the fact that the alleged lenders accepted your signature on, okay, I can't even say that bullshit. I mean, I can't say, I do curse a lot, don't I? Okay, I can't even say that shit. Oh, okay. Okay, so, and then after, okay, so when you sign, you already signed that shit. All of our debts are supposed to be paid back when they took gold and silver off the market, and back when they did this statutes and code bullshit that they're using to kick our ass with. Okay? All that, but it was real complicated. Nobody knows. Okay, and that's a whole nother, like, 4 other YouTube channels and stuff. I'm just saying. Just work with me here, okay? Because it don't have to be complicated unless you're looking at it from their shit. Back in the day, everybody kept their deed to their property in their family Bible, in the firebox, or under the mattress, or wherever, out where the stilt was, or where you're growing your marijuana. Wherever it wasn't in these people's office. And if somebody wanted to, like, get on your stuff, take over your property, they'd have to show up with something that was signed and notarized prior to yours. And so nobody, Oh, wait. So how did we get to where we're registering and stuff? Oh, yeah, the statutes and codes. The statutes and codes that they're using. No, John, because we're in judicial court. So, and shattered by corruption. Uh, you're absolutely right, but I'm going to make that more clear. It's not really their corruption. It's the way their system is structured to screw us over. Go. The judges' canons and all that shit they're supposed to be following. We got a couple of videos on that. And when I opened up their canons and looked at their stuff, oh, hell no. They ain't following none of that. Oh, wait. The local rules is what they follow. And the local rules are from the Supreme Court. And they're not connected to the Constitution, your civil rights, or anything except their bank account, which is why we sue the Supreme Court right out of the gate. And add them, okay, but the judges are getting paid by the state. The state is the one that's stealing your property. The state is the one that has your property or your body to lock your ass up so they could tap into your trust, siesta, Q, trust, or whatever. You know, the straw man, that's big time shit for them. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be talking about that in the courtroom. I'm not in the bunker, so I don't feel like, okay, sorry. That's why they send so many people to jail, to prison, and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and kind of get rolling to what we're going to talk about, and we'll be back to that about the judges being corrupt, and we're going to talk about a little bit about the businesses or people or corporate. I didn't know what the hell to call them without being derogatory. That do appeals for people, appeal services, and anybody else that does like a legal service. Okay, but don't teach you how to do the shit yourself. Okay, because if you can't do the shit yourself, okay, so I got to bite my tongue. Generally, before a couple of weeks ago, if you can't do the shit yourself, whatever. But yeah, I agreed to help this young man get out of jail, Anthony Washington, and hopefully we'll get to him before in the morning. And I agreed to do this so I could show people the value of what I'm doing and not be worried about being stuck behind the non-disclosure statement. Okay, so however, I'm teaching his mom and Amanda and the family how to handle this themselves. Because if you can't do it yourself, when they call your ass on the phone, the clerk, you know, that really nice little girl, I was going to say white girl, but sorry. That really nice person, it could be a guy that's so helpful and makes you think that they've been waiting for you to show up all day. Yep. And you tell them everything, and then you get shit back from the court. And no one checked to see if that shit's signed by the judge. And most of the time, it ain't. It ain't signed by, they use stamp. Oh, yeah, I use stamp too. I mean, not that I do. I don't, okay, sorry. It's not signed by the judge. The clerk's number one job is to protect the court's money. Look that shit up. You wonder why they're so nice? Yeah, I studied psychology in college also. I wanted to be a child psychologist. That was, yeah, but my brain didn't work fast enough to get that shit done in the free time they gave me to go. I studied child and looked that shit up. Yeah, outside the box. If you follow along with their stuff in their program, then you're going to be like, well, Heather, you're absolutely right about the second part of that. You're absolutely right about the second part of that. But as a coach, I'm not going to agree with the first part. Now, I will say that our process changes based off the real-time feedback from people coming in. So there could be a chop off on there or something. But okay, so one of the things that we need to understand is that in this program, and if we don't get to our stuff, it's more important to make sure that what we got on the table here is answered. Because, okay, so one of the most important things to understand in a non-conventional program. Okay, let me see. How can I put this? Let me put "Shattered by Corruption" up for a second, and you guys know, and that I can't leave out my nieces and my big sister. Her daughters make these really cool stuff over on Ecstasy, Hood Nation over on Ecstasy, and okay, so. One of the things that we need to keep in mind is that on a state level, you're in an administrative court, which operates from the local rules. Total bullshit. That's why we sue their ass, but we sue their ass in federal court. In federal court, if you don't force their asses to the settlement conference, which is what we have on our premium shit now. And the reason we have that is because that's what we put in Anthony's stuff, and they actually filed the documents that I sent in an email to all those 30 other judges and courts, the judges and clerks and all the whatever. They filed that stuff on the record, and they noted that we were demanding the settlement conference. Okay, so it's going to be a little hard for them to deny what we put together right here. Demanding that he be released on pre-settlement conference, pending his $200 million RICO counterclaim. That's actually filed in the case, but they're not showing that on record. Okay, but the amazing thing is they showed on the record that they filed the documents that I emailed them to all of their people just to screw with them. I emailed them that stuff to screw with them to give Anthony a little more time to get his stuff in the snail mail that I sent him and sign it. Now, his family, I'm just going to say Amanda and his mom, okay, have been trying to get stuff filed in the case for over a year. But what they did was, and this is what they do, they move your ass around so often that no one knows where you're at until you freaking call them from somewhere. And you have to be somewhere for a period of time before you get your phone rights, before you get your information put in the phone thing, whatever, so you can call somebody. Okay, so if you piss them off because you're not going to kiss their ass, then they send your ass on diesel therapy, which is what they did to me is the same thing. Well, and my girlfriend, when I got jammed up and I wasn't willing to throw her under the bus, they told me all I needed to do was let them know something was going on in my girlfriend's secondhand store. You know, they're trying to say she was selling stolen property and doing all this shit, you know, whatever, you know. Okay, but they didn't have no, well, do I need to say evidence? Yeah. So they're telling me, you know, if okay, the third time they came to talk to me, I asked the guard to come in the room in Spanish, to come in and hang out with us, because I didn't really trust my attorney and the investigator, who was totally throwing my wife under the bus. Denny Conway. Okay, and so now we're sitting there, and they said, okay, and they said, here's the deal. If you would just let us know that there was something going on in your wife's secondhand store, we can get you out today. And you can keep your house, your big pretty house that you bought a few maybe 7, 8, a few years ago. You can keep your house. I was like, oh, damn. That's okay. I can get out now and I can keep my house. So I can live in my house by my damn self, because the superhero in my life is going to be hauled off to jail. And this was 6 or 8 years. I don't know how many years down the road. Yeah. Yep. So, I told him. And this is why I had to go take the mental evaluations. I told him, yo no quiero ver mi casa ahorita porque me gusta la comida aquí. And the guard kind of chuckled. And my attorney and the other asshole butthead that was sitting there, they looked at me and looked at the attorney and said, dile por favor. Dile. Which means tell him. And so the guard said, Mr. Neighbor said the guard said, Mr. Neighbor said he's not in a hurry to go home because he likes the food here. And my attorney, Cheryl Pilot, and Denny Conway, they were really, really pissed. And then that's when they sent me back for 1, 2, 3. Well, I've been shipped out for 3 forced medication. I've been shipped out for 3 mental evaluations, and then the last one they sent me back to Button, North Carolina, with a fake forced medication order. I didn't realize it was fake until after I actually got my ass out, and one of my best friends that I watched be born had all of the transcripts from every single. Okay. The neighbor's family, we're badass on making sure we got the freaking details. Okay, I'm back to that. Sorry. Okay. Oh, thank you, girlfriend. I wanted to click on that again because I like looking. I want to leave it on there for a little while so it shows in some of my. Okay, we got it. Yeah, so the problem with getting people out of prison is that you go the conventional program. Okay, before we get to all that, the first thing that, well, in Anthony's case, okay, we're going in to get him out. They filed the documents that I emailed to all of them to harass them on the public record. Oh, that's and in that filing, and I posted the last couple of videos. They mentioned the demand for a pre-settlement conference, and that's what we demand. We ain't trying to go to no trial. Are you kidding me? I ain't got time for that shit, and we already know that the whole process that they structured for you is based off of that. Now, I'm going to cut to the chase and get to the shit. The shit is that anytime a judge denies you what you got from me, from Pro Se Legal School, from the real-time feedback here, anytime the judge is not going to provide a finding of facts. That's how the computer, the grammar shit keeps keeps correcting it when I'm typing it in. Okay, so that kind of lets you guys know what kind of freak I am at these words and putting this shit together. Okay. So anytime the judge in an administrative hearing, which is what you're in, does not provide a fact of findings, a finding of facts and a conclusion. So leave me the hell alone, okay? Of law, you have absolutely zero chance of any damn appeal. Because those are two things that you need for that shit. And I figured that shit out after me and my wife and my girlfriend. She was my girlfriend first, and then, yeah. We figured that shit out after we got screwed too. Without a finding of facts and a conclusions of law, they drag your happy ass in their administrative bullshit. Now I have people, and I'm just going off of my brain here, so y'all work with me. I have people that mess me. Oh, well, Coach, I'm glad your foster kid and your divorce shit or whatever is in federal court. Okay, because state courts are all okay. Federal court's the same damn way. It's the same bullshit. You're not in a judicial court. The only judicial court that I'm aware of over the length of time that I've been studying this shit is the International Court of Trades, or there's another name for it. That's the only judicial court that's left. When they jammed up all of the judicial courts and they switched from my coach, okay, that I met when I was in prison, when they switched from statutes at large, it went to these fake ass whatever. They'd done away with all of that. So now everybody's in administrative court. And the last video that I made about why I thought they filed Okay, the stuff. But I'm hiding out in an undisclosed location, okay? Why I thought they have that stuff on the record was, in my opinion, and I don't know, I'm just going by what's in my head for like 97 years because I'm like, I worked out yesterday, so I feel like I'm 97. Okay, it's because I didn't sign as an individual person. I didn't sign. I put Pro Se Legal School on the bottom. And then I referenced the legal team here. So if they come to get me, well, usually I blame it on my dog. I'm not throwing my wife under the bus. Well, I can't throw my dog under the bus. I'm at an undisclosed location, okay? But there's nobody else here except a bunch of people with guns and shit. So, you know what? If they crash the gate, I'll know some shit's going on, and then I'll hit, I'll hit the button and give myself right. Okay, sorry. No, there ain't none of that shit over here, okay? Because if you're willing to do whatever it takes, and you're having a good time doing it. So we're going to send this in for Anthony. Okay, so a couple of things we're going to talk about. Number one, Anthony is not a U.S. citizen. Nobody that's in jail is a U.S. citizen. Nobody's a straw man. The straw man bullshit is what they consider U.S. citizen. There's 2 U.S. citizens. Well, there's only one, and the other one's bullshit, is crap. Sorry. Okay, so the U.S. citizen that they're talking about, no one can be a U.S. citizen of a fake-ass corporation. There, I said it. And nobody can, shoot me right now because I'm at an undisclosed location and they can't get past the gate, so. There's also a U.S. citizen of the Republic state in which you were born in. That's what I am. I'm a U.S. citizen of the Republic state that I was born in. I don't want to say what state that is because I'm at an undisclosed location because I got haters and I want to make sure that if I'm hanging out with any neighbors across the street, they don't know how much people hate me. Not everybody. Y'all ass know what I'm saying. When you're hanging out with superheroes, okay, that you either watch me born like these 3, or they all are employed for the government. But not all of them are, they're all employed by the government, but not all of them are deployed. Only one of them is deployed. And, we always like to make sure that we thank the freaking people, the people that are protecting us and making sure that the Houthis are getting jammed up for attacking our shipping lane. That's why the price of everything's up really high. Because Houthis have been attacking our shipping lanes, and now they're attacking oil or whatever, and our prior president didn't do nothing about it. So I'm sorry. For those of you who might want to hate me for that. Okay, so if you're not a U.S. citizen, you're not subject to their statutes and codes because statutes and codes are not valid laws. They don't have enacting clauses, titles, or bodies. They don't have the 3 elements that's necessary to be considered a valid law. And we haven't added that to Anthony's thing yet, Amanda and Mom, but I will before we send it. Before we send it over to them later tonight. So if you're not a U.S. citizen and you're not subject to their statutes and codes, then why would you need to be worried about the pre-settlement release conference? Okay, so in most cases, it's the pre-trial release conference. So we're going to throw that in there because that's actually what this is. Even if the person that you love is locked up and been locked up for a period of time or whatever, the process screwed them. Now, in the beginning of all of what I learned, and I'm just going to throw it on the table, okay? Because I have my lines where I don't help people. I don't enjoy family court or help people who want to kick each other's ass. Now I do have some family stuff because I made stuff for my family, okay? But that's kind of where I'm at. So people that are going through this, they need to understand that they have opportunity to get their people out of jail if they're willing to do whatever it takes, which means dumping the fear. Basically, it means dropping everything that, you knew or you thought you knew about the legal system, especially if you're trying to get somebody out of jail. Now, we put together the demand for release for a pretrial settlement conference, and I didn't want to show it because it would take too long. I'll put it in a video later. It's pretty straightforward, and basically, no, they're all in administrative court. So no, they don't. Okay, but you have to have what you need to get their attention, and you can't be, how can I put this? Going in looking to have them rule on your stuff. Okay, what we do is we stop the court process. We crush their ass and make them shut that shit down and go sit down. That's it. And we do that by following the protocol and all the stuff that we have. And if you invest in a premium package and we communicate and then we have, a coach sets out stuff that needs to get done. The coach is not trying to hear nothing else that you have to say, pretty much, no offense, until that stuff is done that we agreed needs to get done. And people tell me, whatever, and all this other stuff. Did you get to know I haven't got that filed yet? Well, how do you know we're going to need to do this other stuff if you haven't got this shit filed yet? Yeah. And so, Now, one of the things that we're going to talk about tonight, and I want to go ahead and get through this, and then we can talk about all these other things, because this thing of keeping shit from getting stuff from getting thrown out in the yard, and your people home out of jail or not going to jail is a pretty big deal. So one of the things we want to talk about tonight is the demand for pre-settlement conference. I'm going to put on the website for retail as a product, and people can use it. I'm going to put it, I'm not sure what I'm going to put it at yet, but my goal is to, the dust is about to kill me. My goal is to have people use it and get real-time feedback so that I can make adjustments to it or whatever. Because I'm going to include it in the online course that I'm putting together. And so since this is a new product, I need to have like maybe 10 people or whatever, and those people need to leave me reviews. And so I'm going to put it at a reduced price. After the online course gets structured, that document is going to be in the online course, and it's not going to be available for everybody to just buy as an individual document. So, and that's the beauty of, well, let me say that different. What's the beauty of me being able to make things different? The value is that the people that are willing to do whatever. And, my online course is going to be structured for entrepreneurs. It's going to be structured for property owners. It's going to be structured for people who want to train their in-house legal team to kick these people's butts. All right, I'm keeping up. To kick these people's butts in any state, okay? Because remember, what I teach you how to do here, and that's one of the things that we're gonna go over tonight. What I teach you how to do here is to crush the state court process. And we do that by using federal case law and federal acts in the premium package, which bring criminal liability to the table. We use that, and the state players cannot respond to it with statutes and codes. So you automatically get a check down and you crush their ass. And that's how we stop the state court process. I tell people this all the time. People call me, oh, but they know. You don't understand shit. And they're screwing with your head. Okay? Because the state players can't answer to anything that we file in state court. Bullshit. Sorry. Bullshit. State players cannot respond to federal case law or federal acts because they don't have a federal bar card. I don't like to use the word license because we already know that's bullshit. Stop. That's, okay, come on now. Okay, well, it's pretty late. My grandkids are gone to bed, so y'all just leave me alone, okay? They cannot respond to federal case law or federal acts. The federal acts, do you know what an act is? I'm thinking, hell no. I stumbled on the shit. I mean, if you do, throw that shit on here and I'm going to give you something free. Most people don't know what an act is. An act is a federal law. Instead of putting it as a federal law, they will reference it as criminal statutes, which are not valid laws. Criminal statutes are not valid laws. Okay, we're getting lost in there, So what'll happen is the state players, they can't respond to anything that you file on a state court level that you get from me. And I have people call me today, oh, well, I did this, I did that. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure you didn't use, okay. That's how we stop the state court process. Now, the state players are going to go to federal court and they're going to file their answer and try to do that stuff. Okay, but you're not going to have it because you've already added the state court, the state judge, the criminal prosecutor or the foreclosure judge or whatever. You've already added them to their own petition for $200 million counterclaim. That's what the documents in the premium package says. you can add these fools to their own stuff as plaintiffs in the counterclaim without paying fees. Now, remember that we're only crushing the state court process. We don't file shit in state court that we're planning on litigating because statutes and codes are non-valid laws. They're policies or, I don't know, procedure. Policies, I think, was they don't have enacting clauses, titles, or bodies. Sorry, wrong figure. Wrong figure. So they're non-valid laws. In this program, you'll learn how to add the state, the judge, the foreclosure attorney, the criminal prosecutor, the criminal prosecutor's federal judge, to their own shit using a counterclaim so you don't have to pay. Now, you're not going to be in charge of shit. In control of shit. Well, you will, kind of. But not like you need to be, okay, to be in pro se legal school until you get shit filed in federal court. Okay? And once you add the plaintiffs to their own petition, they can no longer litigate the case themselves. They can't represent themselves. Once you crush the state court process, you need to get your fire filed in federal court. And the state players served. So you can demand, the federal judge order their asses to the settlement conference. Because if they couldn't respond to anything that you filed on the state court level, they have no credibility to answer to anything that you filed in federal court. I'm just saying. They have no credibility to answer to anything that you filed in federal court. I know. People tell me, Coach, they're just going to dismiss whatever. You know what? What we learned here is that being in an administrative court is the reason why so many people's appeals fail. What we learned here, thank you, girlfriend. I never really thought about that, throwing that up. Okay, so my girlfriend knows the same stuff, except, she don't like people trying to get her again. Okay, so what we learned here is that the administrative court is the reason why the appeals fell. And administrative courts are operating off the local rules that are put together by the Supreme Court. Everybody like, the Supreme Court, they all have black robes and shit. Yeah, but those rules violate your due process and allow your shit stuff to be processed through the court a lot faster. Oh, wait. You're not in administrative court. You're not in judicial court. So administrative court can speed you up to hurry up and get you through. Now, we did the appeal for my wife, and we had, while she was locked up, I did research on several. And one of the people that I picked was, I don't know, what was his name? Craig Coscarelli. So some of these services cater to people that are locked up in prison, and they send out they send out like letters every month or whatever, and we went, we tried one of those guys. I think his name was Craig Cosarelli, and we found out, Heather, you're listening to me. We're figuring out what we need to get done. uh, well, Levant, that's that would be how, somebody like you or I would, or you or us, how we that would be how we would figure that out. Okay, um, but the fact of the matter is, that these people that are doing this, they're so used to having teamwork from all of the players, which makes it RICO. What makes it RICO, the teamwork from all the players, which makes it RICO. So, let's. So, how much do they charge for an appeal? Has anybody here had a family member that appeal in criminal court? Okay, and we're not talking about this other stuff. We're talking about, your appeal right before you get sent to jail, and how much did people spend before? We're going to talk about that in the end. So, if the federal judge should not provide a fact of findings, or any judge, okay, let's just stop in the court process, wraps this shit down to just like bam, a little thing for everybody. Oh, my case, this one. No, bullshit. Stop in the court process. If the federal judge does not provide a finding of facts and conclusion of law in the ruling, then they just screwed you over and by moving you into their administrative side and violated you. Did I say that twice? Just like they did on the state level. And that's what they try to do. Now, in the premium package, and well, this is actually in the package for the online course, which is the new one that I made, that I'm offering to anybody that invests in a premium package for the rest of this month. They will get that document addressing the RICO situation and the fact that the judge didn't use, and now, and this is how you do the program anyway. But I'm saying now because you have more firepower. And okay, so in the premium package, we go in real estate defraud, and we also use as action fraudulent concealment. Fraudulent concealment is a legal doctrine that tolls the statute of limitations. And I don't know why attorneys don't use that when, whatever. But we do. So if you toll the statute of limitations because of fraudulent concealment at the gate, if they dismiss your shit, you bring it back a whole bunch of times, right? Oh, wait. No. If they dismiss your shit, you're suing the judge because the judge is not going to provide a finding of facts and a conclusion of the law. Okay, I think I'm saying that too many times. So how much money do people spend to get their people out of jail? You know, Anthony's family, Amanda and her mom, well, Amanda really is the one I talked to, said that Anthony spent, well, his family spent like $50,000 trying to get him out. And so that was kind of, like, damn. $50,000 trying to get him out. And they spent, well, the prosecutor eliminated package was $1,900 on my website with the new stuff that added to it, which you will get if you invest in that package. Okay, and they spent $1,900. They spent $50,000. Okay, Heather, you're gonna make me get in trouble with my grandkids. My grandkids are making me be nice, but you. Okay, I didn't put that up there, so I'm just gonna leave it. They spent a ton of money. And when they contacted me on the 10th, if I remember correct, if Amanda shows up tonight, because I keep having these streams at the last minute, and she has a family and shit to do. Okay, if they $50,000, and we're next month on the 10th of next month was Anthony's sentencing hearing. And they was all worried about him getting sentenced or whatever. Of course, I'm like, people, our goal is not to stop the sentencing hearing. It's not to stop the eviction. It's the process. It's foreclosure eviction. It's not to stop the auction. It's to stop the reason why they're able to do that shit. That's what we do. Now, if we got that right, we'll stop that other shit too. So people spend a ton of money, and I don't know, we spent, I don't know if I remember, $10,000 or $12,000 for the appeal process. For my girlfriend. And by the time the attorney that operated Mr. Coscarelli, I think was his name, by the time he was put together the paperwork and sent me a copy of it. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. This is so badass. We're going to crush their ass. My girlfriend going to be home. Okay, but what happened was, and I think I got this right, if she's still, she can correct me. What happened was an attorney, a federal bar attorney, had to sign and file it. So Mr. Coscarelli, the appeal dude running his scam, did that shit with the attorney, and the attorney took out anything that had anything to do with anything. The attorney removed the fire, is what happened. The attorney removed the fire. And, well, when they do that shit to you, and when you hire an appeal or whatever, and they do that shit to you, they don't send you a copy. of the attorney's removal of the fire. I was just saying. You don't find out any of that shit until you're done seeing that the appeal for your superhero got denied. And it's too late to do anything in their conventional system because your appeal is in the road. Oh. Okay, now you know why we don't, excuse me, that was my sneeze. Now you know why I don't roll with limitations. Why I don't listen to their bullshit. Why I don't, when you communicate with me, whether you call or texting me, and you mention the judge said, I don't freaking want to hear it, and I'll tell you right now, I'm going to go into a different mode when you tell me that. Because I'm going to think automatically, you ain't done your homework, okay? You don't even know what the hell we're doing here. Because the last thing that your ass will be telling the coach is what the judge said. That's like saying, Coach, I got a headache today. I don't feel like hitting a three-point shot. Even though I know I'm the badass. I need to be the badass in my family to get the shit. I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. So I'm sorry. I'm a little touchy on that. And I get a little touchy when people don't follow and do what we agree. I don't need to like talk to you or say a bunch of shit or whatever until what we agreed in the coaching whatever is done. And there's a situation. Okay? If we agree to what's in the coaching shit is done, then you already know what the next order of business is if you watch the updated instructional videos and shit. I structured this program to roll without me being here. Okay, because my plan was to be on the beach somewhere with my girlfriend or managing my packet that I have set up to go with me when they roll up on my ass because they don't freaking like what I'm doing. I get hate mail all freaking whatever. I don't say much about it or whatever because I don't give a shit, and I ain't trying to scare the people that love me or that's in my family or whatever, okay? But I'm at an undisclosed location, and if y'all asses want to come and get me, bring y'all shit on because I don't freaking care. I got what I need already in the package set up to where I won't have to worry about commissary or none of that shit. And yo tengo muchos amigos en La Pinta que necesitan voy a la casa con la familia mía. So familia, foreign family. Oh, I have a lot of friends that need to get out and go home to be with their family. People that didn't hurt anybody. People that, got jammed up with their bullshit statutes and codes that aren't valid laws. So, if you guys, we're also going to have, I'm going to set up a webinar training for the people who invest in the premium packages, and maybe every 2 weeks or whatever, we'll figure it out, because we need to have enough people to make it. And then that way, those people enjoy the same benefit that Anthony's family's enjoying right now. Well, as close as you can get, okay? Because like I said, you want to have this shit set up to where your ass is having your legal team take care of the shit. And we say the legal team, okay, because when you jam the ass up with the legal team, okay, it protects your ass. In the end, they'll know who kicked their ass. That's what I told Amanda. In the end, they'll know who beat their ass. Right now, you need to say it's a legal team over at Pro Se Legal School. So you don't have to worry about them finding any value in getting in your face. And about no, the Attorney General's office is who tried to shut me down three times. The Attorney General's office tried to shut me down in the state of Kansas. Miss Lynette Baker with 2 B's. And they attack you if you're making a corporation look like shit. And they tried to make it look like you're hurting people. But it's the corporations that they're. And yeah, I went to that. And 3 times. I was real. Okay, sorry. I was really lucky, fortunate. Okay, because the last court date that I had about them trying to shut me down, I had to take 2 of my grandkids from one of these superheroes, okay, with me to court because I had been taking care of them all through spring break or whatever. And so and that forced me to only speak when I absolutely needed to. And when I left the hearing, the judge was trying to make, what is your kid? No, your grandkid? No, dude. Okay. And so we left. I left not determining a solution, not determining what the hell we was going to do. He says, I'm going to arrest you, I'm do whatever. And I said, fine. My main goal at that point was to make sure that when the superheroes that I watched be born showed up to get their kids, they went at the police department. So I walked out with my grandkids and left the judge up there telling me he had jurisdiction for over 40 years and a bunch of other bullshit, whatever. And I just left. And so my girlfriend, who was my wife at the time, well, because this was a long time ago, my grandkids are almost big as me now. She said, well, what's now? They're going to come after you. Well, I'm thinking if they're going to come after me, they wouldn't let my ass leave court. So what they did was they went and sat their happy asses down and left me the hell alone. They understand now that I know that all these assholes that are calling from all these other states, these attorneys, or prosecutors, I don't know, that are calling from these other states, they can't do a damn thing to me unless, and this is the way their system is set up, unless the federal government wants to come and kick my ass. And we haven't addressed the situation with the federal government when our family, my girlfriend, or myself, everybody like, oh well, dude, with the fraudulent concealment doctrine, and I found this preparing the lawsuit that I put together for my girlfriend. Okay, with the fraudulent concealment doctrine, I could go and kick their ass anytime. I got a lawsuit filed in state court against a police officer that arrested my ass, Officer Dalbert. And it's just sitting over there. Well, I'm going to move it in federal court when I get done. Okay, everybody else's shit. I mean, my shit's like $5 million. Anthony's asking for $200 million. So come on, y'all do, y'all do the math. I'm just sitting over there. Okay, but when I get tired of, and when I get some free time, I'm gonna jump that shit up and move it over to federal court and charge them. And if you're in federal court, you move the shit down to state court. Oh, the Attorney General's office. Anytime that you're doing anything in their conventional program that has to do with corporations, you're going to get screwed. So that's. Oh, thank you, Heather, and yeah, it's a ton of money. And you know that is the key to their administrative bullshit. They make the rules up as they go, and they jam your ass up to be restricted and follow them. Yeah, John, look at you go. The Foreign Agent Registration Act is actually a federal law that was enacted, and it forces those assholes to disclose a whole bunch of shit they don't want to talk about, and we include that in our lawsuit under the act. We bring criminal liability to the table with the Tucker's Act and the Administrative Procedure Act in some cases, and the Foreign Agent Registration Act that we use in a lot of cases that we put together. Oh, we're not U.S. citizens, okay? They deem us to be straw men, U.S. citizen. Nobody can be a U.S. citizen because nobody can be born in a corporate, in a fake. Well, you understand what I'm saying there. Heather, no, actually, Heather, my office is pretty clean. What you can see, you have to see my desk. My niece's table is cleaned off. The last time I showed it, had a bunch of stuff on it. Yeah. So nobody gets to come to my office because I'm at an undisclosed location, and very few people know where that is. So. Actually, Heather, the judges don't answer to anybody really because they have their canons make them, well, RICO operators. I read their canons and they're so full of shit. Oh, what dust you talking about, Heather? You gotta send me a message or email or something. Let me know what dust you're talking about. Guys, we look clean in here. Okay, guys. Thank you guys for the value of sharing your time. This has been a really long day trying to get all of this stuff set up so that we could have this stream and educate everybody. Oh, thank you, John. Well, that's what we do here. Our goal is to help people learn how to take care of these people themselves. And the real time feedback that we get from all of the people in here and 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 the feedback that we get from the people who have experienced this shit firsthand. Frederick got arrested and hauled into jail for quite a while on some total bullshit, and he's and he's learning how to have some fun. Cause that's what I asked you. Okay, so I actually cleaned up yesterday, and yeah, there's been a lot of planes taking off and shit at this base of somewhere where I am. So that makes it even more dusty. But I actually did clean up yesterday because that helps. But it's going to be a few days. Oh, thank you, girlfriend. It went longer than I thought, but I'm glad. I hope people got value out of it and that you understand you're wasting your time on the appeal process. Because this is anytime the judge denies your shit in my program, you find my stuff, it's open road to the highway, open highway to the road. I don't know, whatever the hell. Okay, because the judge is not going to use the fact of findings and the conclusions of law. So they just drag your ass into. So now what we've done in the premium package is we've addressed this situation in the lawsuit. We've addressed the situation in the lawsuit. By saying something in the lawsuit that I'm going to file, that we're going to have in the online course, which the people who invest in any of the premium packages for the rest of the next couple of weeks will get. We addressed the fact that the legal team has done homework, and it appears that the federal judge does not provide a finding of fact and a conclusion of law, which the legal team is very concerned with, because without that, there's no appeal. And that means that the judge shares liability. Well, the judge shares liability anyway because their asses are jamming you up in the administrative court or whatever. So, but that's how you get their attention, if you want to make a script. I tell you the words that you need to use. You just need to call their ass up on the phone and talk shit. This is part of the program. I tell people in the criminal process shit, I tell people, when your people call you from court, read the freaking document to them. Tell them, your legal team said your ass is suing the government, the prosecutor, your attorney that they paid to force you to take the stinking deal. Come on now. I'm going to keep it real with you. Oh, those options you get when you roll without limitations and with somebody that ain't scared of their ass. But I am in an undisclosed location. But I'm here because, well, you know, I got superheroes. There's only 3 of them. We've had, well, those 3 I watched me born. Then we've had 28 other mini superheroes because they were all younger than those. 1, 2, or 3 at a time while we did foster care for 17 years. I know. I'm a freak. Oh. Guys, thank you for attending the show tonight. Frederick says yes, yes, yes. Yeah, well, Frederick's about to get up in the ass. I mean, all right, you know, it's late. Let me see what time it is. It's late. Frederick's about to get up in the ass with some real shit. And when you earn my respect because you do your homework, then you have the right to, like, call me if you have a problem, okay? And you know, there's a few other people that are you know, that have earned the right to call me. Oh, and you know, there's some people that call me and they get blocked. So, and of course, well, y'all know my girlfriend. She don't have to worry about calling me because we got her back already. And I put her lawsuit together with the fraudulent concealment and shit to jam the ass up for the 97 months they forced her to spend. But I didn't add. And I'm just gonna throw it on the table, okay? Because I keep it real 24/6. I had not added the false imprisonment and the false arrest and the false imprisonment. I did not add that to her stuff. So we'll be making those changes. And the document to get people out on pre-conference, settlement conference, or pre-trial, depending on if you're already stuck in their conventional shit, I'm considering making as a product so you can buy it individually off the website. And it jams their ass up because, okay, in Anthony's case, he was arrested at the casino from facial recognition bullshit that was put in the computer by the DEA without a warrant. Arrested by private security guards that didn't have jurisdiction to be screwing with him unless he was there to hurt people or rob the casino. And he was there with his family, just so y'all don't get it twisted. His mom and okay, anyway. And then he got shipped all over the country, and he's had 1 mental evaluation. But I told him how to stop that shit if they try to make him have another mental evaluation. You just challenge the psychiatrist in the hearing. If you know, ask the psychiatrist, you tell him, look, your job is to assess my mind, right? And it's like, oh yeah, I have a PhD or whatever, and I'm gonna kick your black ass. I mean your butt. Your white butt? Okay, whatever. And then You just ask them, doctor, and I got this from my coaches. I got this information mailed to me from my coach, Denny Harden, from his wife, Melinda. You ask the doctor on the record where your mind is. If the doctor can't tell you where your mind is, no one knows where your mind is. So then you just let the record show the doctor is silent and doesn't know where my mind is. So the doctor is not mentally competent to assess my mind if he don't know where the hell it is. Now, I have one question that I've been asked probably 5 or 6 times is, have I gotten anybody out? Well, I didn't have this shit ready when my girlfriend was, and they let her out early because I was harassing her ass a little early. Not early enough, and I was traumatized, and that's why I do what I do. And so I just answer people when they ask me that. Number one, I don't do this. I'm actually taking on Anthony's case to prove to y'all asses that my shit's badass if you do it right. If you do the things that I say you need to do or whatever without fear. In this criminal shit, there's a lot of fear because the federal prosecutors, they harass your family, your neighbors. They run your shit on Channel 5 News. Believe me, I know. They ran my shit on Channel 5 News. And my neighbor called. My neighbor called Channel 5 News when the police was raiding my house. And Channel 5 News showed up about the time they was... And they was hauling my grow operation stuff out of the attic of my house. But I didn't have any plants because I've been doing foster care. I didn't have time to do that shit anymore. So it was just sitting there. But yeah, I know that's why they was hating on me because, they fly over, they do all this shit, and they got and they got nothing. And yeah, I want to sue the ass for that shit down the road. And I have people ask me about why, I'm not in a hurry. Why I'm in a hurry? I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in their program. I'm not going to the table asking them to rule on shit or to give me nothing. I used to box after I got done playing football for University of Kansas. I boxed for 5, and I ain't never been counting the lights. Now, I've lost a couple on a draw or whatever, but I ain't never been counting the lights. Okay, and so I had to keep things simple. I'm not going to no damn hearing or to their court process or none of that shit. Their asses are going to have to tap out and get the hell out of my face and leave me alone. That's how I roll. That's how I box. Okay, one of my coaches told me, "Oh, dude, this dude's a bum. You need to knock him out." And I said, "No, coach, I'm not going to knock him out." And all the guys from my dad like, "What the hell?" I'm not going to knock him out. You don't understand. My coach at the gym, I was boxing at 39th and Rainbow in Kansas City, Kansas. And my coach, he had 2 dudes in the ring beating my ass. 2 dudes in the ring teaching me whatever I need. And then he made my ass go out and chase rabbits in the field. I'm not lying. He made my ass go chase rabbits in the field. And I couldn't come back and get back in the ring until I caught one of them. And so then I figured out that the rabbits only have a little burst and you have to, so you have to be in shape to do it. My goal was to make the dude give up. Because all that shit I went through, I ain't trying to knock him out, have him laying there acting like, no. I want him to go sit the hell down, take them gloves off, and give up. There ain't no appeal. There ain't no whining. There ain't no bitching. There ain't none of that shit when you have to give up. That's how I make all of my shit. You have to give up. Go sit down and shut the hell up. That's how I roll. Now, I understand that some people don't really like that. And they don't really like, playing with their ass in the ring until they give up. They want to knock their ass out and kick the shit out of them after they get down. I'm fine with that. As long as there's some kicking and shit going on. I'm fine with that. And we've made adjustments in the premium packages for those people to be able to crush their ass and then do the kicking later if you want to, if you have to. I like just playing with their ass because there ain't no way in hell that none of them are going to crush my shit, okay, without the help of the paid person or whatever. So, thank you, Kerry, for showing up tonight. I appreciate everybody that showed up tonight. And Heather, you're always here. I appreciate that too. I need to. I'm getting hungry now, and I need to. This is like my favorite tie. I need to go. I need to go put it back in the plastic. And it's my most expensive tie too. So if you're my friend and you message me or email me, I'll tell you how much the tie cost. Actually, my girlfriend bought it for me. But we didn't know how much it cost before. Oh, it's a birthday tie. It got bought for me a couple of years ago on my 50 something. Okay, never mind. I'm not a good liar, okay? I went to the dispensary and I told the dude I'm here for my grandma. My grandma needs some stuff. And he looked at me and he said, okay, well, I said, no, I'm serious. My grandma needs some stuff. He said, well, how old is your grandma? She was about 260 years old. Dude, my grandma's old, okay? She could be out in the car, okay? You don't want me to go get my grandma. I'll bring her ass in here and have to kick your butt. Oh, yeah, so, I don't do the math that quick unless I'm counting the money that I get from the percentage from helping the people that I agree to help, like Anthony, like Anthony's family, because I'm not actually working for Anthony. I'm actually working for Amanda and Anthony's family. Okay, mom. I know what her name is, but she ain't worried about anybody bothering her, and yeah, she's packing. So I'm just saying. Oh, thank you, Heather, and thank you, Heather, and thank you, Heather, thank you, Heather, and thank you, Heather. Okay, my ADD is kicking in. Oh, thank you, girlfriend. I like to hide out and be a superhero. I'm not trying to take no credit for anything. I like to hide out over here in an undisclosed location, helping another superhero and a whole bunch of people. Okay, thank you guys for the value of sharing your time. My voice is about to go, and I cannot believe that I've been here for 2 hours, but I'm hoping that we brought some value to the table. And I don't see that anybody left and said, oh, hell no. Okay, sorry. So I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Thank you. And if you're having a problem with the situation, After you go to the website and take a look at the description that we're offering, both description is a short one that goes right to the shit, and then there's a longer description that has a bunch of words in it. So after you check out the descriptions and head over to the YouTube channel, to the instructional video playlist, we're getting instructional video. If you have any questions, give me a call. I had a call today from Luke today, and sometimes people just want to call to see if the asshole is the one that answers the phone. Okay, we started out good, but then he was taking up too much time, and so we ended up good. So he's going to get in the program. So anyway, I'm learning how to communicate different. Okay, I'm learning how to communicate differently. So I'm not always a coach, and I'm learning and I thank my girlfriend for that, because you spend your whole life in coaching, you learn how to be a coach. And my kids, I'm thanking my kids for that too, because they've been helping me with this problem too, with this situation. But my girlfriend been helping me with that also. And there's been a few people, and I want to name them because I don't have permission, that I've had to apologize to, like maybe 1.5. Because I got too coachy, and but at the end of the day, okay, I was going to tell you, at the end of the day, if your coach ain't passionate to kick their ass and feel like we got what we need to do to get the job done, then you're screwed. So I'd rather apologize if I go over pushing and have people still in the house not getting the shit thrown out or not going to jail. So that's where I'm at. So, and I'm still learning how to communicate with people who aren't crazy like me and spend your whole life busting your ass and beating your head against the wall. But you know what? I think it's working out pretty good. So we're just going to go with what we got. Communication is the most important thing. Communication is the most important thing. And the ability to say, I'm sorry, I apologize if you screw up. Without those two things, and that's just from the coach's perspective, and I don't think that I would be here supporting you guys and another superhero and a whole bunch of others, many superheroes or whatever, if I didn't know what the hell I'm talking about on that. So, good night, everybody. Good night, Heather. Thank you guys for coming in tonight, and I'm going to go get something to drink.